Hey there, YouTube. So today I have here some headphones. They're from Eksa. They're the same brand that I reviewed the gaming headset of. Link will be down below for that. This is the Eksa E1. So it is a semi-cheap device. Basically, it runs a Bluetooth 5 and all this stuff, and it costs $14 on sale from $40. We'll see how good it actually is. So if you find it on sale for 15, it's real. So it's called extra bass because that's a button you can press for 2 seconds. For extra bass, they claim hi-fi sound, but that's total BS, and do not believe when they say that. It has 24 hours of playback time, built-in microphone, Bluetooth 5, a voice assistant, which was basically just whatever you have in your phone, and then a comfortable wearing and foldable design. So it runs Bluetooth 5 with the latest Qualcomm QCC3024 chip. It has a comfortable, they claim, folding design, and comes in the box. We'll get into that right now. It has the headphones, 3.5mm charging cable, audio jack, USB charge, portable bag. So the first thing I see here is a micro USB cable and a 3.5. I'm not even going to open that box. I'm actually just completely disappointed here. Micro USB in 2022. I don't know how good of a review this is going to get from me. You have your manual, which tells you how to use it for the user, for the manual. Now, of course, I'm going to connect it wired and wireless to my digital audio player, which gives me hi-fi. And then you get a fake leather bag, which I actually do not like the feel of at all, because it feels like plastic. It probably just is really bad plastic, and you can see the folding design. Very small ear cups. This is going to be on ear for most people. And you have a nice design. You have this logo thingy. Yeah. So if you look around, you have the micro USB, and then on the other side you have the 3.5mm. You have the 2-second activate for your extra bass, volume up, volume down, skip, next, play, pause, and that's it. And then in the inside you have your left and right, and this doesn't really flex too much at all. Like, I can't really, I feel like I'm going to break that if I continue doing it. I'm not doing it any higher.
Okay, so now that we got the unboxing out of the way here, I want to talk about the sound. So it has no treble to it, causing the bass to be very prominent, which is what these are. These are called the Eksa Eksa E1 Mega Bass. It has so little treble that it sounded like it was all coming from the bass, which it probably was. And I needed to turn up the high end and mid range, like the trebles and the mids where all the instruments and voices come together. And starting from the 500 hertz, basically that style frequency, if you're a nerd enough to understand that, for it to even give a decent sound to my ears. It is like the treble actually got removed from these earbuds or headphones altogether. Now, to put the treble back up, I actually had to take the start of the mids and turn it up to the end of the frequency graph. It took about 5 to 10 seconds to do it, and it made it sound really, really decent. Now, it actually helped the separation of the instruments in the mids, and it still caused some songs with the best sound, but it's much, much better than the stock tuning. Now, the mid-range is mixed together with the instruments and the voice, causing instruments to mix together, making some sounds either get drowned out or just sound like they're not there. Some sounds, like birds in the background, are actually hard to make out. So I was listening to a song, it's the intro to Forza Horizon 4, Odessa, I forget the name of the song, but it actually, there's like a squawking noise from a bird, and that sounded like a scream/moaning sound, not a squawk. And then when I turned up the treble, I was able to hear that. And I had to sometimes listen closely to even figure out to make the most of the instruments. Stereo separation isn't the best at all. A stereo sweep sounds just okay at best, but not the thing I would call special of any kind. Most of the time, sound coming out of either ear cup separately, just doing like it's coming from that ear, not what was intended. So what I mean by that is, if I had to sound like maybe a bass or someone singing to, let's say the person was coming from this side and not from here, instead of it sounding like it was coming from that side, it came from here. There was no separation at all, and the sweep from behind didn't really sound like a sweep. It sounded like, oh, I'm going to go here to here and back again. So that sweep actually got messed up. But doing 5 seconds of treble tuning from the mids to the highs actually helped with the stereo sweeping. And then some bass thumps actually drowned out the music. So it would go thump, thump, thump. And you'd be like, where the hell did the music go? And then you'd hear it. Now you have the Sony. I know I'm comparing these two from $14 up to like $300 or whatever. Bose and Sony, they both go thump, 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 but you can hear the music. You can still understand it versus this where you're like, where the hell did the music go? Now, the pros and cons. Pros, only $14, down from $40. But if they go back up to $40, don't buy them. Long, in quotations, 24-hour playtime. Now, it's subjective to you and how you listen to music, but to me, it lasted about 22 to 23 hours before I had to charge them again. Wired and wireless playback with Bluetooth 5.0 at AAC options. So you get, for the price, you get a decent enough quality Bluetooth connection because you get the AAC and Bluetooth 5. And then for all the nerds out there, is the QCC 3024 chipset. It gives it a lower powered Bluetooth connection, which these don't use the lower powered one, but it's still, they don't use like a LE connection, but they still use a lower powered connection because of this. And it gives it all the range it needs. I was able to walk about 35 feet before it told me that it was gone. And dual device connection, but this one does not have the dual device connection enabled, even though it can do it. For voice calls, it has QC CVC noise cancellation with the microphones to help isolate your voice during the call, and you'll hear later why that's BS on this one. And it has an all-around decent chipset in lower-end devices. It also means it does proper stereo sound if it was implemented well. So anything I just said about the QC 3024, it's there. If they enable it, it works, but none of that's actually enabled. Now the cons is the extra bass in terms of the bass response, which is what extra bass is supposed to do, but it doesn't, it just turns up bass, doesn't like say, oh, let's turn the treble this much, whatever. So it actually kills the rest of the sound that you hear out of this thing. And it has micro USB to charge. Now it's 2022. You're selling something, I don't care. 10 cents more, I'll eat that cost into $15. But you give me USB-C and I'll be happy. It has no treble sound to my ears. So for my ears, I can hear certain frequencies. And at least to me, I don't hear the treble that well. I know it's there, but when I go through and I think about it, I don't even hear it. I don't understand it. That's the thing. I hear bass and only bass. Now there's no swivel in the ear cup, so if your head is shaped a little bit like it's going to go outwards this way or inwards, most people want it to be like this, and it feels a lot nicer when it's not sitting where the front of it's digging into but the back of it isn't, and it just doesn't swivel properly. The ears cup this time doesn't actually cover your ears, so the bottom of my ears on either one of these, unless I were to dig it in and make it uncomfortable, which that actually does hurt, it is not suitable for my ears, and I don't have that big of an ear, that I would recommend this for kids to teenager size ears. And the size adjustment is quite weak, so that just means that sometimes taking off the headphones results in me having to adjust the cup again to make it go lower or higher depending on what happened. And long sessions from about 10 to 30 minutes, that actually hurts my ears in these. So just going like this on either ear makes it feel a bit better again, but now I just have to adjust it so that I don't hear the outside noise a lot, and now it's isolated properly. And it was about 10 to 15 seconds to about a minute of a break that I needed for it to actually sound good. And the headband doesn't flex a lot, so Like, you can't really bend it, so it's really not durable. And I don't think these are made to be durable. $15, $14.99, whatever, $15. Not really durable. Nothing that I would consider if you just want to chuck these around and you're scared of these breaking because of that. Now, I feel bad because they're only $14 and I may have been shitting on these, but I mean, it's my criticism. So I'm sorry if you don't like what I said here, but that is it. It's like my criticism, so whatever. But they aren't actually bad for $14. For $40, they're garbage, but for $14, they're actually good. With a bit of EQ, you can get a better sound. The Mega Bass button doesn't really do much to make you feel the bass, more than just turn up the bass, with it sounding very muddy. Just a very bad sounding bass that you won't want. Even if you don't use the EQ at all, they sound semi-okay for the price. Although, I wouldn't call the extra bass feature, or to my ears, that good. It enhances the bass frequencies. Basically, the low one just gets turned up, causing it to drown out the mids, making a lot of the sound and instruments you want to hear just get canceled out and not sound like they're meant to. And they have up to 24 hours of battery life, allowing for long operations. The one caveat I don't like is micro USB charging, and as I said earlier, I don't care what year they came out, but if they're going to be sold in the year 2022, give us a USB-C. Please, give us the USB-C that we want. What is good, though, is we get a good indicator for the left and right cups, whereas some higher-end earbuds and headphones, they give it a small L to make it look sleek, where it's etched in, embossed, or something in there, and you have 3 dots on either side, and like a 2 dot on the other. So this one does it too, 3 dots on one side so you can actually feel it. But give us a good indicator, at least in the ear cups, this one gives it. Controls are easy. Hold the play pause button to turn on for about 3 to 5 seconds to turn on the headphones. Press the play pause button to pause or play it. And then if you press the next and previous buttons, that'll change the volume up or down. And you hold it to actually change the song. And what's nice is that extra bass button, it requires a 2 to 3 second hold for it to even activate the extra bass, which means that when you're actually using it, you can't just go, oops, I pressed the wrong button instead of the volume down, and it won't activate. So it's good. You have to actually hold it to activate the extra bass if you don't want it. Now, the mic in these things are said to sound good according to what I was reading on their website, but this is them sounding.
The quick brown fox trims over the lazy sheepdog. So I was walking down the street one day and I decided to just cross the street because I needed to. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, some car just came up and almost hit me. So I stopped, I went up and I gave him the middle finger and I said, screw you, really loudly. And then all of a sudden I started walking some more. And right away, an electric bike went and it knocked me down. So I went and I got back up and tried to go away, so I stuck my foot out and it tripped. So there's the story of me crossing the street.
And as you can hear, not good. Now, it sounds very compressed and something that I wouldn't want to use for talking on the phone. It doesn't block out noises from around you, letting all the noises in while compressing your voice. So what it just did was it actually took that CVC noise cancellation and just took that to compress some frequencies, but other stuff around you doesn't really get blocked out the same way, so you can actually hear lots of the noises from around you. So it was, yeah, I don't know what to say from there. But all in all, these headphones are confusing. Either you don't care about the sound quality, or you want something that'll just be cheap and work and you can chuck in a gym bag or something and just work. The microphone, as you heard, does not sound good at all. It uses micro USB-C for charging, and it hurts my ears. It has a weird clamping force that only after about 10 to 30 minutes, I have to take them off for about 10 seconds to a minute before putting them back on. And the battery, to me, is the only thing that sells these headphones. Now, I do consider myself to be an audiophile, but to most people, these would just sound cheap. I will put a link down below if you do want to buy these for only $14 at the time of review, and if they aren't any more money, they're not worth it. And if you did like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.